Hello friends, welcome to the next session about greedy algorithms we are talking about. So today we'll look at single source shortest path. So we'll be looking at Dijkstra's algorithm. So what is the single sort? What is the shortest path? The shortest path problem is about finding a path between two vertices in a graph such that the total sum of the edge weights is minimum. That is why we say shortest path. Fine. And Dijkstra's algorithm is one of the most famous algorithm what is used for finding the shortest path from a single source to all the other vertices in the graph. So let us look at the definition of it. So given a connected weighted directed graph G associated with each edge UV which belongs to the set of edges, there is a weight W on the edge UV. The single source shortest path problem is to find a shortest path from a given source R to every other vertex V belonging to the set V minus the vertex R, the source vertex. The weight, that is the length of a path P, is of all the vertices from V0 to Vk is the sum of the weights of its constituent edges, right? Given here, right? Weight of the path P is the summation of all the vertices in the path from vertex vi minus 1 to vi. The weight of the shortest path from U to V is defined by delta UV is equal to minimum weight of the path P is path from U to V. Fine. This definition will be more clear once we look at the example, the way it is working. Fine. Now here are some points what you should remember about Dijkstra's algorithm. It's a very famous greedy algorithm. And why it's a greedy algorithm? Because it's an optimization algorithm. What we are doing, it's a minimization of algorithm. Why? Because we are finding the shortest path. Now it is used for solving the single source shortest path problem. It computes the shortest path from one particular source node to all the other remaining nodes of a graph, right? So you have a single source, and from that single source, you try to find the shortest path to all the other vertices or the nodes in the graph. It works only for connected graphs. If the graph is not connected, if it is disconnected, this algorithm will not work. Another thing is it does not work with negative weight edges. If the weights on the edges is negative, this algorithm will not work. It provides the value or cost of the shortest path. It just gives you the value or the cost. It does not give the shortest path. It just gives you the value or cost of it. It works for directed as well as undirected graphs. It works for both the types. Fine. Okay. Now let us look at the algorithm. So what is the problem? Problem is what? Given a graph and a source vertex in the graph, find shortest paths from source to all the vertices in the given graph. So this is your problem statement. Fine. So what you're doing? From a source vertex in the graph, we are finding the shortest path to all the other vertices in the graph. So what we do here, we generate a shortest path tree with given source as a root, right? So it's a tree. So there will not be any cycle, there will not be any loop because it's a tree and the root of the tree is the source root or the source node from where we are starting the path. So it maintains two sets. One set containing vertices included in the shortest path tree and other set includes the vertices which are not included. So at every step of the algorithm, what we do is we find a vertex which is in the other set, that is set of not included and has minimum distance from the source. Fine. Now, what are the steps for implementation? The step one, as we said, the set one, defines two sets, right? The one set contains all those vertices which have been included in the shortest path tree in the beginning, and this set is empty. So we say in the beginning, here for the shortest path tree which are included, we just call them visited here, and all are empty. Right now all are zero, so not a single vertex is included in the shortest path tree. Fine. And the other set is of all, contains all the vertices which are still left to be included in the shortest path, and in the beginning this set contains all the vertices of the given graph, right? So these are the two sets. This is the one which is not visited and this is the one which will be visited. So this will be considered in the shortest path tree and this is just the set of vertices. Fine. These are the two sets what will be maintained. So here we have taken a table structure. Now, what is the step 2? For each vertex of the given graph, two variables are defined. That is path and distance. Right? Two variables are defined, path and distance. Right? So what path gives? Path gives you the predecessor vertex of vertex V. It gives you the predecessor vertex of vertex. Fine. Now, and distance, D defines, estimates the distance path, the shortest path estimate of vertex V from the source vertex. Now, initially, if you look at it, the source vertex distance is 0, right? And rest of the vertices distance is infinity, right? So the value of the variable path for each vertex is set to nil. Here I've just put the dash, right? And the value of the variable of distance B for the source vertex is 0. And the value of the variable for D of the remaining vertex is set to infinity. Fine. Now, the step 3. So what we do here, the following procedure repeated until all the vertices of the graph are processed. So among unprocessed vertices, a vertex with minimum value of variable D is chosen, that is a distance. Its outgoing edges are relaxed. Outgoing means the edges which are going out from the source vertex. So after relaxing the edge of for that vertex, the set created in step 1 are updated. Now, what is this relaxing of the edges? Let us look at an example. Now, consider the graph here, given graph, right? And you have edge AB, right? Edge from A to B. This is the edge for AB, right? Now, the distance of A and distance of B denote the shortest path estimates for vertex A and B. Now, what is the shortest path of A is 4, shortest path of B is 8, and as S is the source vertex, its path is distance is 0, right? Now the distance of A is 4, distance of B is 8, and distance of S, that is the source node, is 0, right? Now what we want is, now if you see the distance of A from source to A is 4, distance from source to B is 8. I can even reach B from A. I can even reach A from B. So I can even go from S to A, then A to B, right? So if I take a path from S to A and A to B, the distance will be less as compared to S to B. How? So now let us calculate the distance of B. So what is distance of B? Is distance of A, that is 4, plus the weight on AB, that is 1, right? That is total is 4 plus 1, that is 5, which is less than the distance of B, which is currently 8. So what you do, you update this, right? So you update this. So instead of source to B, now the path for the B will be source to A to B, right? So the distance will be now, instead of 8, it will be 5. This is nothing but it is called edge relaxation, where you're updating the weights. And the shortest path gets updated for each edge. Is it clear? Of course, we'll be doing this edge relaxation as we go through the example. Now, let us consider this example. So now you know these are the two sets. Now this table is familiar to you. Set of vertices which are not visited still. And once the vertex is visited, we'll be changing this value from 0 to 1. 1 indicates the vertex A is already included in the shortest path. Right? The distance, as we said in the beginning, A is the source vertex or the source node. So distance is 0. Rest of the vertices, distance is infinity, initialized to infinity. Path is nil, so I've just put a dash there. Fine. So in the beginning, what we do is take the source node, that is A, right, as visited. So A is visited, mark it as 1. Now, once A is visited, what is the next step? Next step is to check its consequent edges, vertices or edges, you can say. From A, where you can reach, from A you can reach B, you can reach C, right? From A you can reach B, you can reach C. So what we do, we update, or we say relax the edges. So now we'll be updating B as well as C. So A is visited. From A you can reach B. What is the distance? From A to B, distance is 4. Fine. Now from A to C, distance is 8. And how did you reach B? From where you reach B? You reach B from A. So path is A. A to B is 4. A to C is 8. Is it clear? How did we get the number here and how did we get A here? This is the previous node of B, that is A, previous node of C, that is again A, right? Now, once we have got this, what we'll do is now we'll check the next vertex with the minimum distance. Now, the next vertex with the minimum distance is B, right? So we'll mark B as visited. So B is visited, so we mark it as 1. Now, from B where you can reach? From B you can reach A, from B you can reach C, from B you can reach D. Now, from B you can reach A, but A is already visited, so this will not be considered. A is already visited, but it's already included in the shortest path, so we'll not be able to change its distance again. So A will not be included, will not be considered. So what we'll consider now? We'll consider C and we'll consider D. Now, from B to D, how do we calculate the distance of B to D? So we'll have the distance of B, right? The distance of B is how much? Distance of B is 4, right? So distance of B is 4 plus distance from B to D. B to D, how much it is? 8, right? Distance of B is 4, distance from B to D is 8. So 4 plus 8, that is 12. So distance of D is 12. And how did you reach there? It is from B, right? The distance from B to D, we marked it as 12. Next, from B you can reach C also, right? So again, now check the distance of B, that is 4. Here also you can see in the table, the distance of B is 4, right? 4 plus distance of C. Now distance of C is 8, right? Distance of C is 8. So how much it will be? Distance of B plus distance of B to C, that is 11. So here it becomes 15. Fine. Distance of B is 4. Distance from B to C is 11. So total is 15. But what is the current distance of C? Current distance, that is from A to C, is already 8. The new distance what we calculated is 15. That is from B to C, which is more. But what we are interested in, we are interested in shortest path. So we will not adjust the distance there. We will not update the distance there. We'll keep it as it is. So there is no change. So distance of C will remain as it is. We are not making any change here. Fine. Now, the next minimum is C. The next minimum distance to be considered is C from 8 and 12. Right. Now, once you consider C, from C where you can reach? From C you can reach A, you can reach B, you can reach E, and you can reach F. Fine. Now, A you cannot consider, it is already included in shortest path. B you cannot consider, B is also visited and already included in the shortest path. So what are the two vertices which can be considered is E and F. Right. Now the distance of E, if you see, is 15. Fine. So let us calculate from C how much it is. So it is distance of A to C and then distance of C to E. So distance of C is how much? 8. Distance of C is 8 plus distance from C to E, that is 7. So 8 plus 7, that is 15. Already the distance of E is 15. So we are not making any change. The source also we are not changing. We have kept it C as it is. Fine. Okay, the distance of E is 15. Now we updated it. Next, for distance from C to F. Now, F distance we calculated as 9. How? The distance of C is 8 plus distance from C to F is 1. See, the distance of E and F were infinity. So these 15 and 9 are already less than infinity. So we update it. We make it as 15 and make it as 9. And how did you reach E and F? You reached it from C. So the path is C here. We updated the path also. And you can see the distance from C to F. C to F is distance of C, that is 8 plus distance from C to F, that is 1. So total is 9. Fine. So distance of F is 9, distance of E is 15, and the path is C for both. Okay. Now from these you select, from these three now you select the next minimum. The next minimum is now F with 9 as the distance. Okay. So from F where you can reach, from F you can reach E, you can reach C, and you can reach H. Now you cannot consider C because C is already visited. It's already part of shortest path. So what you can consider? You can consider E and you can consider H. Fine. Now calculate the distance from F to E. So how it will be? It is the distance of F plus distance from F to E. What is distance of F is 9. Fine. Distance of F is 9 plus distance from F to E, that is 6. So how much it is total is 15. The current distance of E is already 15. So will not make any change. It is same. So will not make any change. It will remain as it is. We are not changing the path also. Fine. Next you calculate the distance of F to H. Now the distance of H before calculation was already infinity. So directly you can check, you can calculate and put it there. So distance of F, that is 9. Distance of that is 9 plus F to H is 2. So 9 plus 2 is 11. So update the distance of H as 11. And path is what? F. You reach H from F. So you change the path as F. Fine. Now, the next minimum from, now this is already visited. So minimum from 12, 15 and 11. So you can see the next minimum is 11. So we'll visit or we'll include H in the shortest path. Fine. Now, from H where you can reach, from H you can reach D, you can reach F, you can reach G, you can reach I. Now, F is already visited. You have 1 here, so you'll not be considering F, but D is not visited still, it is 0. So D it can look at G, D and I. So now let us calculate the distance from H to D, H to G and H to I. Let us calculate from H to D. Now H to D is what? Distance of H, that is 11, plus distance from H to D, that is 4, which is 15. Fine, which is 15. Now again check what is the current distance of D. Current distance of D is 15. The newly calculated distance is 15, right? So 12 is less than 15, so will not make any change, right? D will remain as it is. We are not changing it. Next, now calculate the distance from H to G, right? H to G. So what it is? Distance of H, that is 11, fine, plus distance from H to G. G was infinity before, so we'll just write it as it is. So it is 11 plus 14, that is 25. And what is the path? Path is H. We are calculating the distance from H to G, right? So H to G, the distance we have is 25. Next, you calculate the path from H to I. I was also infinity, so now you can directly update it. So from H to I again, distance of H, that is 11, plus distance from H to I, that is 10. So the total is 21. So distance of I is 21 and path is H. From H you reached I. Is it fine? Okay. Now the next minimum you need to consider from 12, 15, 25 and 21. So if you look at it carefully, next minimum is D, that is 12. Right? Now from D where you can reach, from D you can reach B, you can reach E, you can reach H and you can reach D. Fine. B is already visited, it's already in the shortest path, cannot be considered. Fine. H is also already in the shortest path, it cannot be considered. So what you'll be considering? You'll be considering E and G. So let us first check the path from D to G. So how do you calculate distance of D? Distance of D is how much? 12, right? 12 plus distance from D to G, that is 7. 12 plus 7, this is 19. What is the current distance of G? Current distance of G is 25, right? And the newly calculated distance is 19, which is less. So what you'll do, you'll make a change. Now, what you'll do, this 25 will be replaced by 19 and path in front of H, it will become D. Fine. You'll make a change in G vertex. The distance will be 19 and path will be D instead of H, because from 25 it is reduced to 19. And the next, you have the vertex from D to D to E, right? E is not visited still, right? D to E. So how do you calculate the path here now? The distance here, distance of D, right? Distance of D, that is 12, plus distance of D to E, that is 2. That is total 14. What is the current distance of E? Current distance of E is 15. And the newly calculated distance is 14. So what you do now, update this also. Now the distance of E will become 14 and path instead of C, it will become T, right? So we are making two changes here, right? So what we updated the vertex E and we updated the vertex G, right? So the distance is updated and the path is also updated. Is it fine? We made the changes here. Okay, now the next minimum what you need to consider is the visited, non-visited vertices are this I, G and E. Among these three, which is the next minimum is E with the weight distance 14. This is 19 and this is 21. So next we'll select E to be considered in our shortest path. Fine. So now when you consider E, from E where you can reach, from E you can reach C, you can reach F and you can reach D. But if you look at the table carefully, D is already visited, C is already visited and F is also visited. So you cannot make any changes because the adjacent vertices of this E are already included in the shortest path. So there is no change. Just mark E as visited and select the next vertex. Now the next vertex with minimum distance you need to select is G because there are only two remaining now, G and I with the distance 19 and 21. So let us select G with the minimum distance 19. Fine. Now from G where you can reach, from G you can reach D, you can reach H and you can reach I. Now D is already included in the path, in the shortest path, so you cannot consider this. You cannot consider H also, it is also included, right? So what is remaining is only I. So from G to I, so calculate the distance from G to I. So distance from G to I, distance of G plus distance from G to I. What is distance of G? Distance of G is 19, right? And distance from G to I is 9. So 19 plus 9, that is 28. What is the current distance of I? Current distance of I is 21, which is less than 28. So we will not make any change. It will remain as it is. Fine. Now, the next remaining vertex is only I. So just select it, mark it, add it to your shortest path and no changes are required. Rest of the table remains same. Now all the vertices are visited with the path and with the distance. So this is the shortest path for this given graph with the source node A, right? So from source node A, you can just check, you can visit all the vertices with the minimum distance. From A, you can reach I via C, F, H and I. You can also reach E, A, B, D and E. You can also reach G. So from this source vertex, you can visit all the vertices with minimum distance, or you can say shortest path. Fine. Now, what are the real life examples of Dijkstra's algorithm? It's one of the famous algorithm. It's used very frequently. Now, one of the famous application is digital mapping services in Google Maps. In case of Google Maps, what it asks you the source and the destination, right? From source to destination, it gives you the shortest path. How does it calculate? It uses Dijkstra's algorithm because source is the one, the source node, and destination is a destination, but there are many different paths to reach that destination. So what it calculates? It calculates the distance of various paths and gives you the minimum distance path using Dijkstra's algorithm. Another application is social networking application. In fact, sometimes you do get friend suggestions. How do you get? There are some measures which are taken to find how the parameters are nearer to your existing parameters. So again, there Dijkstra's algorithm is used. Another example is a telephone network. Depending on the, let us say, the cities, the houses are the nodes, wires connecting them are the edges, and the weights on the edges is the bandwidth of that particular cable. So there are many applications. These are few popular ones. I hope the concept is clear now. These are the two examples what you can try. Of course, you can try many more. And if you don't understand, you can just play the video again. Otherwise, you can message me or mail me. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe.